Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Whoever guides someone to goodness will have a similar reward." Sahih Muslim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to another episode of Muslim Alas, where we bring you absolutely amazing stories from Muslims all around the world. Today's guest is 100% an emulation of the hadith I said earlier about getting a similar reward when one guides another to goodness, in that she consistently reminds me and so many others through her stories. And even when I met her for the first time, she kept saying, "I'm doing this for the sake of Allah." And I think that's definitely what inspired me most about her. But we'll get into that a little bit later. To start off, let me ask her and welcome her and ask her sincerely, how are you? How are you doing? How's everything going?
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. I'm good, alhamdulillah. And how are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm doing well. To the listeners who are hearing your voice for the first time, I think the best question for me to ask you is, who is this amazing Muslimah named Husna?
That's beautiful, mashallah. Jazakumullahu khairan for having me on the show. And you asked me who is Husna. I'm still trying to figure that out, but I think of it as being that I'm a servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we all are. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put us in this world for one purpose only, and that purpose is to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to do that which He loves. And I remember going through my school life, and alhamdulillah, I began my hifz after I graduated Maktab Madrasa, and my goal was just to finish my Quran and my hifz. And when I finished school, I was still doing my hifz, and I am still doing my hifz. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. And I remember it being 2022, like the end of January, and I made a logo, and it said Mozar, and I sent it to one of my very good friends, and she goes as designed by Ray. Mashallah, she makes the most amazing calligraphy in the whole world. And I sent it to her, and I told her, like, how cool would it be if I opened a brand? And then a few weeks later, she messaged me, and she's like, "Husna, did you check your emails?" And I was like, "No." And then I checked my emails, and she made this beautiful logo for Mozar Designs. So Mozar Designs is a modest clothing brand that I opened by the grace and mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the whole intention behind Mozar Designs is to help each and every Muslimah out there in the world to wear hijab and to show the beauty of hijab and the beauty of modesty.
Alhamdulillah, I feel like you're well on your way there to showing the beauty of hijab, because you always emulate the hijab in such a way that I feel like so many people want to be you, including myself. um in your business and in your personal life, do you feel like there is a sahabi that you emulate, or a story that just touches you dearly, that creates motivation in your life?
I think it would be Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's wife, Khadija radiallahu anha, because she was such an amazing woman, and she was such a successful businesswoman, and she's such an inspiration to not only me but to the whole ummah, and that she had so much of haya, so much of modesty in her dealings. So even in the brand Mozar Designs, to bring deen into it as well, because I remember being in madrasa and studying the sunnahs of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and we came to the section of business, and I was so excited because now I'm like, okay, this is where I have to pay attention, because I'm dealing with business. And one thing that really inspired me and melted my heart was when my ustad was explaining to us the sunnah section of business, and we learned that Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that the honest and trustworthy merchant will be in the company of the Anbiya alayhi salam. And that for me was really amazing to know that um, we need to be honest. Our deen is so beautiful because in Islam, every action is based on one's intention. And if you intend to do something good, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows what's in your heart, and He will definitely reward you. That was really amazing for me, because that if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is granting you such a reward if you are honest in your business dealings, then it makes you want to be so honest in your business, and because who wouldn't want that reward? So our deen is so beautiful, and it's just.
So you own a fashion brand and you create all your pieces, which is something that I definitely admire. Do you think that from a business view, how we dress affects how we think? To rephrase, do you think if we were to get more into wearing abayas, we'd be more Allah conscious or have more taqwa, and vice versa? If we were not to wear abayas, we would be more less Allah conscious.
Gee, I really do think it would, because it's a step that you take to become closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and wearing the hijab makes you feel safe and secure. Because I always think of a hijab in a way that if you go into a jewelry store, right, and you purchase a diamond ring or a diamond necklace, the jeweler is going to give you the diamond necklace or the diamond ring in a box, and he's going to give it to you, and you're going to go out of the store, and you know, okay, you have this jewelry and it's secure, it's in this box, and that is you in your hijab. You are that beautiful rare diamond inside that jewelry box, and when you put the hijab on, that's who you are. You are so precious to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He has commanded you to wear the hijab. And the only reason He commanded you to do that was to protect you.
What role does your family play in your life and in your journey?
My family plays a really big role in my life, and I'm so grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for granting me such amazing and beautiful parents. And my ummi is such an inspiration to me growing up, because I went into hijab at a really young age. So I'm 19 years old now. So if I count back, I've been in hijab for 10 years, alhamdulillah, which is more than half of my life. And when I was younger, I fell in love with the hijab, and I remember till today I do it. I always match my sneaker with my hijab. So if I wore like a pink sneaker, I would have like a pink hijab, and it's so cool. Like, and hijab is a journey as well, because for some, wearing the hijab is so easy. Like, you can put the hijab on and go to campus or go to work or run errands. And for some, it's really difficult. And despite that difficulty, she fights her nafs and she still puts the hijab on and goes out of her house, which is something which I really admire. Because remember, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not expect perfection from us. All Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala expects from us is to try, because perfection belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if you really want to put the hijab on and you don't know where to start, I would be more than happy to help you find the hijab shade and find a hijab style that would suit you. Because Alhamdulillah, I am a hijab stylist, and there are so many styles out there.
I feel like this episode could go on for much, much longer because you share amazing gems, and I'm pretty sure after this, listeners will want to know where they can find you and how they can support you and your brand. And as much as that will be shared in the description, I'd love for you to say it. Where can a listener find you and how can they support you?
And you could pop me a DM on my Instagram handle, which is Moza_designs_, and I would be more than happy to help you, inshallah.
So, we have come to the end of our show. It's time to say goodbye and go. But before we part ways, did you miss any of our previous episodes? Don't worry, They're all on Spotify to reload. So head over there and hit play. We promise you won't regret it. But our podcast is more than just a show. It's a community where we all grow. So if you want to be a part, hit that subscribe button with all your heart. And don't forget to visit our website for more information about events and groups. We hope you enjoyed our conversation and learned something with each narration. Now it's time to spread the word, so like and share with friends and family. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, be happy and stay within.